Welcome back to another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad, episode number 26. The conversation I want to get into today is about Terence Crawford. If Terence Crawford actually moves up to 154 and gets to fight with JERMELL CHARLO, would that benefit him more when it comes to facing off against ERROL SPENCE? Let's get into the conversation.
That shit gonna be easy work, I promise you. It don't matter, I'm gonna knock you out, bro. You been hurt.
That's fact.
You got hurt by getting bull. You got hurt by getting bull. Yeah.
You got hurt by a Campbell. You got hurt by a Campbell.
When have I got hurt by a Campbell?
And you got hurt by a Campbell. And you got hurt by Campbell.
When? We see you get wobbly, Lane. We see you get wobbly.
Then what?
We see you get wobbly. It don't matter. Wait till I hit you.
Wait till I hit you.
You gonna sleep.
You gonna look like
all my life.
You gonna look like Benavidez.
You. He had one leg.
You gonna look like
he had one leg. He had one leg. I'm gonna make you do the stanky leg.
Second guess that decision. What about Terence Crawford? If he ever was willing to go to 54, you think that's a good fight?
Yeah, they can make some money.
Yeah. I believe Danny Garcia also is looking at 154.
That's a lot of guys. Why they don't fight each other? Leave me the hell alone. Let them fight each other.
Well, they want the champ, you know that.
Right. Of course. They gotta work their way up to the champ. They go come prove. I can't see you until you prove it. Right? I've been proving.
So this is my take on if Terence Crawford actually moves up to 154. Business-wise, I think it'd be a great move. I think he's in the process of signing with a different advisory company. And I think Terence Crawford going to be all right. Like I said, he made his mistakes at the beginning, but I think that this decision, if he really pushing to go to 154, business-wise, it'll make great sense. Between the winner of Castano and JERMELL CHARLO, I think it's going to be an excellent fight. By the way, I do think I'm kind of favoring JERMELL CHARLO for what he did in the last fight. He almost knocked Castano at least down a couple times. He really hurt him bad. This time, I think he's going to put him out. I think he needs to put him out to make a statement. But if this fight could get made, it'll be great for the sport of boxing. And it's likely foe being that ERROL SPENCE and JERMELL CHARLO is essentially in the same camp, trained by the same coach. I think it'll be a great test. I think if he can actually beat both of them, I mean, you can't say anything about Terence Crawford. His career, I think he's a very established fighter as far as his career goes. I think he's a punishing fighter. I think he's one of the most dangerous fighters in the game right now. I give Terence Crawford a ton of respect, and I respect his skills and his mindset. Like I say, with any business or anything, you're going to make mistakes. I think he's going to move past it. I think he's going to get rid of that issue with Top Rank. A lot of other fighters has, so I don't think he'll have big issues with doing all that stuff, taking care of his business over there. But as far as the fight game, I think that what Terence Crawford is showing, at least by mouth, I think he's pushing to be one of the best boxers in the game, and I think he want to be remembered by doing that. He's calling out all the dangerous fighters. But I think that, like I said before in another video, I think that him moving up to fight Danny Garcia first will give him a good test at 154. And I think, if he do, like, staying active wise, I think taking that fight will be good with Danny Garcia. But overall wise, career wise, taking a fight with JERMELL CHARLO, if he can say this, if he can pull off the win with JERMELL CHARLO, excuse me, I'm messing up with the twins' name, but if he can actually pull off the win with JERMELL CHARLO and actually stop him like he does everybody else, and then imagine him going to fight ERROL SPENCE, he will have all the eggs in his basket as far as negotiation. I think ERROL SPENCE will have to give him 50-50. Because he would be undisputed, especially if JERMELL CHARLO win, Terence Crawford will be undisputed at 154. So ERROL SPENCE will be behind he would be behind as far as moving up to 154. So it makes a lot of sense if you think, like I say, I always try to speak a little bit about the business of boxing and common sense. So you mean to tell me if Terence Crawford moves up to 154, becomes undisputed, not just grab a belt, but have all four major belts in that weight division, they will have to go 50-50. They will have to go 50-50. I still agree that ERROL SPENCE will do bigger numbers on as far as pay-per-view, but pay-per-view would be almost out of the question. None of that stuff will probably matter. They would probably have to settle for 50-50. And I think, like I said, a lot of people getting upset because we may not get to fight at 147, which is okay. Both guys are going to move up. Man, you got so many dangerous fighters. When you get, like I said, it's a young man's game. And, the longer you stay in it, the longer you try to hold on to belts and do the same thing, fight the same type of fighters, it gets old. And a lot of times them young guns, they going to catch up to you. It's going to catch up to you. It's going to catch up to you fast. Everybody can't be Floyd Mayweather. A lot of them, Floyd Mayweather, he's just a different fighter. It's hard to talk about the sport of boxing without talking about Floyd Mayweather. So things are different for different fighters. Terence Crawford hasn't taken a lot of damage. JERMELL CHARLO hasn't taken a lot of damage, and also Errol Spence, to me, he hasn't taken a lot of damage. So they can fight for a little bit longer. But as far as facing somebody like Jerome Ennis, that's a tough task, man. I think I would be trying to move up, let him have the division before he start thinking about 154, and actually move all those guys up to the next weight class. So I think it's, for business wise, I think it's especially with Terence Crawford's situation, I think it's better for him to move up. I think he has nowhere else to go. I don't think he wants to wait on Errol Spence. He could. We could still see that fight at 147. But even if we don't, we could possibly see them fight at 154. And the way I'm thinking about it now, that's the most likely class that we're going to see that fight take place in. I think it'd be great. I think they could probably hold their power up there also. Just imagine the difference with the extra pounds, not having to lose it in camp and all the other stuff. So you're not so much as drained. You're not as drained as you would trying to get down to 147. Those guys are my height. I'm 5'8", and I almost weigh 200 pounds. And that's not fat either. So I can only imagine trying to drop down to 147. But you guys let me know what you think down in the comments below about this issue. Do you think it's smart for Terence Crawford to move up to 154? And business-wise, is it good for him to move up to 154?
That's going to conclude another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad, episode number 26. Let me know what you think down in the comments below about this topic and all the other topics that I'm bringing up. If you want to see what I'm wearing, shoptachi.com. All the social media platforms that I'm on will be down in the descriptions below. So please go check me out especially on Twitch. I got more boxing content over there. And I do have a Big Bear Boxing Squad IG page. Just want to thank you guys. We're currently at 99 subscribers. Just want to thank you guys. But next month, I do want to try to see if I can get to an unbelievable record and hit 500 subscribers. So you guys gotta especially hit that like button. That way it helps out with the algorithm of YouTube. It helps conversation get even bigger. But I love doing this channel. You guys inspire me to do this channel as far as talking about the sport that we all love, which is boxing. I'm just a combat fan in general, but boxing is like my main. That's my first love when it comes to sports. And that's the reason why I want to bring this channel to you guys and actually share my passion with you guys. But that's going to cut it for this video. Just want to thank you guys again. Please tune into another episode of Big Bear Boxing Squad.